important announcement from HDFC Bank. A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security. Call 0718 800 999. HDFC. An important announcement from HDFC Bank. A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security. Call 0718 800 999. HDFC.
In a few moments, the news.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Danushka Madhavala and read by Sharifa Tahir. Local news headlines. The Health Minister says the only solution to address the COVID challenge is through vaccination and following the health guidelines. Sri Lanka yesterday confirmed the highest number of coronavirus-related deaths since the pandemic began. Coronavirus Disease 2019 Temporary Provisions Bill passed in Parliament yesterday without voting. Media Minister says steps should be taken to build a better media culture. The new Vision FM educational channel will broadcast from today. Former Western Province Governor Azad Saleh has been ordered to be remanded till 31st August. And on news overseas, UK to welcome 20,000 Afghans amid Taliban takeover. Sports, former Sri Lanka cricketer Avishka Gunawardena has been appointed as the batting coach of the Afghanistan cricket team. Local news in detail. Minister of Health Kehelia Ramukwala says the only solution to address the COVID challenge is through vaccination and following the health guidelines. The minister also said the country successfully handled the first and the second wave, but the third wave was vulnerable due to various reasons. However, the salaries of the 1.5 million government servants were given without any reduction during the COVID period. Although the government lost the income sources, it was able to provide the salaries and other allowances to the government employees, he added. Meanwhile, the minister said that a ministerial committee has been appointed to address the COVID issue. Sri Lanka yesterday confirmed the highest number of coronavirus-related fatalities since the pandemic began. The Government Information Department confirmed that 171 virus-related deaths were reported on the 16th of August. Accordingly, Sri Lanka's coronavirus death toll rose to 6,434. 102 males and 69 females were among the fatalities. The department said 2 males below the age of 30 were among the victims. 3,609 individuals tested positive for the coronavirus yesterday, increasing total infections in the country to 365,683. 3,555 positive cases were linked to the New Year cluster, while 54 individuals who arrived in the island recently from overseas also contracted the virus. 2,283 individuals recovered from COVID-19 during the past 24 hours and were discharged, raising total recoveries to 314,340. The epidemiology unit of the Ministry of Health said 44,909 individuals are currently being treated for the coronavirus at several facilities across the island. Coronavirus Disease 2019 Temporary Provisions Bill passed in Parliament yesterday without voting. But the debate in this regard was held throughout the session yesterday. Media Minister Dallas Alahaperuma met heads of state media institutions yesterday. The minister, after examining the present operations, progress, financial situation and problems at those organizations, pointed out that steps should be taken to build a better media culture. Steps should be taken unconditionally for the education of children. The former minister has launched new channels for education. Minister Alaha Peruma said that necessary support will be given for the future success of the programs. The minister hopes to meet officials of each media organization from next week and to make future plans. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news.
A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Call 0718 800 999.
Continuing with more stories here at home. The new Vision FM education channel will broadcast from today over 107.3 FM from Colombo, 107.5 FM from Yatiantota, 97.4 FM from Karagahatanna, 97.4 FM from Hunaskiriya, 102.1 FM from Radalla, 104.7 FM from Deniyaya, 90.1 FM from Haputale, and 89.8 FM from Cookaville. Former Western Province Governor Azad Saleh has been ordered to be remanded till the 31st of August. He was ordered to be remanded by the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court, and Saleh has been detained for questioning since March after being arrested by the Criminal Investigations Department. He was detained to be questioned under the provisions of the Prevention of Terrorism Act. A pistol manufactured overseas was also found in his vehicle with ammunition. In the meantime, the police said at the time that several complaints had been made with regards to statements made by Azad Saleh, the complaints had been received by the CID and the police headquarters. The police said that a 5-member CID team had later been appointed to investigate the statements. Water supply to several areas including Vattala, Maabola and Hunipitiya will be suspended from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. today. Water supply to Vattala, Hendala, Elakanda, Alvis Town, Valikadamulla, Keravalapitiya, Maabola, Hunipitiya, Vadikanda, Bevalduwa, Pranshavatta, Kiribatkoda New Road, Padeniya Tudawa Road, Dalupitiya Road and Akbar Bridge areas will be suspended during that time. That's on local news.
Now, get your EPF loan information and service details via SMS from HDFC Bank. Wherever you are, being a state and private sector employee, to obtain EPF loan information and service details, just send a SMS mentioning EPF space, name and region to 0718 800 999. HDFC Bank, the bank for your home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
State Minister of Production, Supply and Regulation of Pharmaceuticals, Professor Channa Jayasumana says that 3 mutants of the Delta variant of COVID-19 coronavirus spreading in the country have been identified so far. The State Minister made this revelation while commenting on the COVID situation in Parliament yesterday during the debate on Coronavirus Disease 2019 bill. According to the State Minister, the researchers have discovered a change in the genetic codes SA222V, SA701S and SA1078S of the Delta variant in this country, and these are mutations in the spike protein of the virus. Channa Jayasumana said that these mutations may be the reason for the increase in the rapid spread of COVID-19 disease, adding that the Delta variety is spreading 60 to 70% faster than the previous varieties.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On Watchlight, the National Movement for Consumer Rights Protection said some banks and financial institutions have continued to ignore the central bank circular and insisted their customers to pay the interest. NMCRP President Ranjit Vittanage said banks and leasing companies, having ignored the circular, keep sending reminders to their customers, forcing them to pay late interest, including charges during the moratorium period. He said some banks and leasing companies have seized the vehicles of some customers who have bought them under lease agreement. That's on Watchlight. Moving on to world news headlines. UK to welcome 20,000 Afghans amid Taliban takeover. Tropical storm Grace hampers rescue efforts of Haiti earthquake. Sudoku puzzle enthusiast Maki Kaji dies aged 69. World news in detail. Thousands of Afghan refugees will be resettled in the UK after the Taliban seize control of Kabul, the UK government has promised. The new scheme will see up to 20,000 Afghans offered a route to set up home in the UK in the coming years. In the first year, 5,000 refugees will be eligible, with women, girls and others in need having priority. Home Secretary Priti Patel urged other countries to help, writing in the Daily Telegraph, I quote, "We cannot do this alone," unquote. However, some of the opposition parties have criticised the settlement scheme for not going far enough. The new plan is on top of the existing scheme for interpreters and other staff who work for the UK. Some 5,000 Afghans and family members are expected to benefit from that policy. Rescue work following the deadly earthquake which struck Haiti on Saturday has been hampered by heavy rains brought by Tropical Storm Grace. Tens of thousands of people left homeless by the quake had to decide whether to brave the storm under flimsy tarpaulins or risk returning into buildings damaged by the tremor. At least 1,419 people are known to have died in the 7.2 magnitude earthquake. More than 6,900 were injured and an unknown number are still missing. Finally on world news, Maki Kaji, the Japanese man known as the godfather of Sudoku, has died at the age of 69. Kaji gave the number puzzle its name after publishing it in his magazine Nikoli in the 1980s. Since then, the popular game involving placing the numbers 1 to 9 in each row, column and square of a 9x9 grid has spread around the globe. Tournaments take place across the world, and it is estimated that millions play versions of the game each day. On Monday, Nikoli published a statement on his website saying Kaji had died at his home in Tokyo from a bile duct cancer on the 10th of August 2021. Kaji was born in the northern Japanese city of Sapporo in 1951. That's on World News.
Development News is brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number 1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
CIB Janajay Vasana creates more and more 100,000 rupee winners every second. Valuable gifts for your bills till 31st August. Win amazing hand tractors for your over 3,000 rupees bills at the monthly draw. CIB.
China and Sri Lanka have entered into a 61.5 billion rupees deal to support Sri Lanka's coronavirus response and economic revival program. The Chinese embassy in Sri Lanka said that the China Development Bank and Sri Lankan government entered into a RMB 2 billion term facility agreement yesterday. The agreement was reached on a request made by Sri Lanka to support its COVID-19 response, economic revival, financial stability and livelihood betterment.
Development News was brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number 1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
CIB Janajay Vasana creates more and more 100,000 rupee winners every second. Valuable gifts for your bills till 31st August. Win amazing hand tractors for your over 3,000 rupees bills at the monthly draw. CIB.
And on sports news, former Sri Lanka cricketer Avishka Gunawardena has been appointed as the batting coach of the Afghanistan cricket team. The Afghanistan Cricket Board had posted the announcement on its official Facebook page. Afghanistan is next scheduled to play 3 ODIs against Pakistan in Sri Lanka next month. Taliban fighters who took over Afghanistan on Monday had announced that cricket can continue as it was before.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The 2,832nd Go Visit the Lottery draw has awarded a prize of 65,300,000 rupees. Candy Lottery agent Gilman De Silva has sold the ticket.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
And on economic news, Abans PLC has recorded a significant growth in the first quarter of the financial year 2021 by earning 10.6 billion rupees. It was 6.7 billion rupees in the previous year. It has recorded profit before tax of 1.2 billion rupees. The company has earned 526 million rupees in the first quarter of last year. It has recorded 131% of revenue growth this time.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Another weather update. Showers ilaka at times in western and Sabargamu provinces and in Gaul, Mathura, Kandy and Nureli districts. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Uva province and in Ampara and Batiko districts after 2 p.m. Fairly strong winds up to 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected in the western slope of the Central Hills, northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in Hambantota and Trincomalee districts.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Back to the headlines. The Health Minister says the only solution to address the COVID challenge is through vaccination and following health guidelines. Sri Lanka yesterday confirmed the highest number of coronavirus-related deaths since the pandemic began. Coronavirus Disease 2019 Temporary Provisions Bill passed in Parliament yesterday without voting. Media Minister says steps should be taken to build a better media culture. The new Vision FM educational channel will broadcast from today. Former Western Province Governor Azad Sali has been ordered to be remanded till the 31st of August. News overseas, UK to welcome 20,000 Afghans amid Taliban takeover. Sports, former Sri Lanka cricketer Avishka Gunawardena has been appointed as the batting coach of the Afghanistan cricket team. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news, and it's back to Geethanjali this morning.